I saw that you're on the dating site.
I really think that you are gay.
That's all we focus on. Why didn't you try to have sex with this girl?
Hello, and welcome back to the channel, my Panda pals. Today we're gonna be covering what happened on the 4th part of the Single Life Tell-All. Now it is looking like this is gonna be a 5-part tell-all, which is a little nuts considering that the season was 11 episodes. Anyway, let's dive right in, so you know what that means. Sit down, buckle up, and let's go for a ride. Now, in case you forgot, last episode we learned that Megan and John are very jealous people and that it causes them to have arguments every other week. Signs of a super healthy relationship, I know. Despite all of their glaring issues, John gives Little Miss, I'm not a timeline girl, but here are some timelines, the proposal that she has been begging for.
Megan Brown, will you do me the honors of being my wife? Aww. I love you.
Love you, baby.
Megan obviously says yes, Pat is obviously disappointed, and all of the ladies on stage are crying because they are obviously so jealous that this train wreck gets to get married and they are still single.
Better all get invites.
Well, let's not rush the date now. Baby steps.
Whew! Well, thank God Megan's not a timeline girl, right, John? I mean, we're not expecting her to give you an exact date for the wedding to happen the moment you get into the car.
You think that'll help with the jealousy a little bit? Like, feel more secure?
Yeah, I think it will.
It absolutely will not. Unless that ring has the power to give dear old Megan an entirely new personality, then the ring is just sparkly. And Megan is still nuts. I also think it's like a little weird that Megan is not peeing all over her dress because she finally got the ring that she has not shut up about since the day that she met John.
Thank you.
Hear we, I hope you all find what I found.
Sir, how dare you curse us? You take that right the f back. Where is the sage? What the f kind of crystal do I gotta eat to make that not happen? Everyone says goodbye to Pat, and he heads out to give Thais a call backstage to break the news to her of John's engagement.
He proposed to Megan, so...
Oh my God.
I mean, 9 months ago, Megan was a booty call.
The rest of the cast rally around John to offer him their congratulations.
I'm so excited for you guys. You guys seem like such a good match.
Excuse me?
Well, it sounds like you both have very similar jealous issues. I don't think that's normal in a relationship. And if it is, like, God, I don't want that relationship.
Damn, Veronica is a two-faced piece of work. No wonder she got big hair. She gotta hide that second face somewhere.
Like the whole thing was gonna fall apart and then you came through like a knight in shining armor.
Thank you,
and I
Mr.
loved it.
Oh my gosh, these people are insane. I thought your relationship was gonna fall apart, but then you fixed it by proposing? Miss Debbie, do you know how stupid that sounds? Speaking of Miss Debbie, it is now time to roast her.
Debbie had been crushed by her failed relationship with a Moroccan man 43 years younger than her.
Debbie tells us that she is in her Renaissance era. She feels like she finally grew her wings and is starting to fly. Thankfully, she is flying towards men and not children. Sean welcomes Fernanda and Mama Debbie onto the stage to get their takes on Miss Debbie's experience as women who are in very similar positions. They revisit Russ and how Miss Debbie lied to him saying she was 57 instead of 67.
Do you think that he did not want a second date when he found out that you actually lied about your age?
Well,
You know, I'm gonna have to say it's probably because he found out that she was about to marry a guy in his early 20s like yesterday. Everyone judges the crap out of Miss Debbie for starting things out on such a big lie. Mama Debbie tells her that she should be proud of her age because not many people get to live to be as old as her. Miss Debbie explains that when she put 67 as her age, no one messaged her on the dating app.
Do you think it was just your age that stopped people?
Mama Debbie goes on to say that Miss Debbie should be meeting people face to face if the apps aren't catching any fish, or that maybe her profile and the things she wrote about her on there were not very appealing.
I think Mama Debbie's on the attack to Miss Debbie.
Mama Debbie then goes on to say, what if a man said he was 40 but he was really 70? Would you be okay with that? First of all, that is a 30-year difference, not a 10. That is a way bigger deal. Also, I do not care how much money or science you put into your face. You will not be 70 getting away with saying that you're 40 unless you're telling everyone that you've been smoking a pack of cigarettes a day since you were like 5.
I mean, a lie is a lie, but if I gotta pick.
Just be honest. You mean nothing bad. You just were more creative about reality.
Honestly, I understand why she lied about her age. We do not live in a society that looks kindly upon aging. If I was dating someone who told me they were 30, but they were actually 40, I think I would be able to forgive them pretty easily. I don't outright lie about my age. However, most people generally assume I'm about 10 years younger than I actually am. And I do not go out of my way to correct them because people are ageist. That is a fact. And I should not have any less opportunities than anyone else just because the passage of time happens. Sean introduces Julian to the stage and asks him what he thinks about Debbie dating again. He says that nothing he says matters because his mother is out here telling everyone that she's had no luck with dating when he's offered to set her up with people he knows in his line of work who seem to be very upstanding and stable dudes. But Debbie doesn't want a general. She wants an artiste.
Well, Ruben seems like a nice partner to enjoy the evening of my life with.
Some of my gut tells me there's something wrong with Ruben.
He tells everyone that he thinks Ruben is sus, and he wouldn't be surprised if he found some dirt on him. Sean brings Ruben onto the stage and asks him what the status of their relationship currently is. Ruben says that they text every day and he hopes they get to have more time to spend together. Mama Debbie goes on to ask him a non-stop barrage of questions.
Are you guys exclusive? Do you see other women? Have you been in many relationships? Have you been married? Do you have kids? When's the last time you were in a relationship?
Mama Debbie, just because they gave you a microphone does not mean you have to talk into it all the time.
Do you see other women?
No. I mean, look at him, Debbie. The answer is no.
Tim really needs to step down from his high horse. Like, he has no business putting himself on that pedestal to be looking down at people. Ruben may be eccentric, but at least he's not a pompous dick using his ass as a hat. Debbie asks Julian why he was so hard on Ruben when they met.
See this patch of gray hair?
Yeah.
It's named Osama. This is because of you and your decisions.
Ruben goes on to say that he's got plenty of money in the bank, his debts have all been paid, and he's not looking for a green card, so Julian is kind of making an unfair comparison between him and Osama. Julian goes on to say that his mother was texting Ruben last night, heavily implying that she wanted to see him, and he never made plans back. Ruben says that he did text her back after he landed to try and make plans, but Debbie never responded and he figured it was just because it was so late. Turns out he asked Debbie to meet her at a location halfway between the both of them, and she was upset that he didn't offer to meet her at her hotel. So what does she do? She just ignores him.
I didn't respond back. You had an opportunity to see me. If a man is really interested, he'd run all the way to my hotel.
Oh my gosh. People who say things like this really annoy me, and I'm about to go on a mini rant, so buckle up, Panda Pals. If your sentence starts with, "If you loved me, then you would," you better swallow those words right back down your throat because whatever you're gonna say is gonna be emotionally manipulative. Let me explain. People have different love languages, right? People show love in very different ways, and they want to receive love in very different ways. Now, let's say you want your partner to give you more hugs. You shouldn't say, "If you love me, you would hug me." Instead, you should say, "It would make me feel more loved if you hugged me." Both statements deliver similar sentiments, this desire for a very specific form of affection, but two completely different connotations. If you loved me, you would. Anything that comes after that shows that your love is conditional on receiving what it is that you asked for. It is a demand, and it is very accusatory and guilt-inducing in nature. Now, if you say, "It would make me feel loved if you hugged me," this expresses your feelings, your needs, and your desires by inviting the other person to consider your emotions as well as contemplate on their ability to make a positive impact on this relationship by choosing to fulfill this specific need. It is non-confrontational and it is led by empathy. So yeah, if you often say, "If you loved me, you would," then that is why you either don't get what you want and get into an argument, or you do get what you want, but it doesn't feel satisfying and it feels very disingenuous, and you still get into a fight. And if you often get told, "If you loved me, you would," then now you know why it always makes you so angry when you hear that. Whew. Okay, rant over. Ruben tells us that Julian wants Debbie with someone who wears a nice suit or jeans, but he is who he is and he likes to dress to have fun. Debbie chimes in to say that she also thinks Ruben dresses a little over the top, and she would prefer a more sedated look.
The pink pants I could live with if you paired it with a black shirt.
Debbie, you are wearing a tutu and a goldfish, okay?
Ruben goes on to show off his socks that have Debbie's face all over them, and then he even drops trow to show us his undies that also have Debbie's face on them.
Honestly, I would say run, Mom. He may have like a voodoo doll or a little shrine to you.
I think it's creative.
Julian, calm down. Ruben does not look like he would hurt a fly, and honestly, he doesn't look like he has the muscle strength to hurt one either. The cast starts to question why Ruben would wear socks and undies with her face on them, but then not offer to meet her at her hotel. Ruben goes on to explain that he knows that Debbie is very conservative with her sexuality, and he didn't want to put her in an awkward position or feel pressured if he were to go to her hotel room on the very first night that they saw each other. And so he decided it would be better to offer to meet halfway so that it was more of a neutral meeting place.
Well, thank you for shedding light on that. I didn't think of it that way, but it makes sense.
Crazy how you lessen the chances of miscommunication when you communicate. Sean asks Debbie if she has any suspicions about Ruben.
I saw that you're frequently on the dating site, and that hurt my feelings.
Ruben says that his membership isn't active on the dating app, but yeah, he gets notifications and sometimes he views them.
You guys aren't exclusive, what does it matter?
Yeah, we don't, we're not, correct.
Debbie then tells us that Ruben set his age range on his profile to women 30 to 50 years of age. So she's thinking that Ruben doesn't want to keep her around and is looking for someone younger. Debbie says that if he wants to find a younger woman, then he can go and find one and count her out. Sean asks if Ruben is interested in dating Debbie, and he says absolutely, and though Julian will not like it, he's just gonna have to learn to suck it up.
Will you two be exclusive?
I've been pretty much exclusive with Debbie anyway.
I've got me a real boyfriend now.
Sean circles back Tim and brings Luisa and Jamal back onto the stage. She asks Tim where the two stand in their relationship today, and Tim says that he still considers Luisa a friend, but that their romance just did not blossom into anything more.
There was, I don't want to say red flags.
He means lack of compatibility.
Exactly. I don't think we're that compatible.
Is it because she got boobies? You know how in high school, there was that guy that you always thought was gay, but he was very adamant he was straight as an arrow? He just never told you that the arrow looked like this. But he loved musical theater, and all of his best friends were girls, and then you guys graduated, you moved on with your life, you guys turned 30, and then one day you're just scrolling through Instagram and you come across his new profile, and he's at Pride wearing Daisy Dukes with the words power and bottom painted across his pecs, and you're like, huh, called it. That's how I feel like it's gonna go with Tim. Sean asks Luisa for her thoughts on their relationship.
He thinks that he's a diva, and he thinks that he can call me all the time and complain about his life.
We revisit the times when Luisa was just beautiful, funny, and sweet, and begging Tim for a kiss, and him just coming up with every little excuse on the face of this planet to avoid any intimacy with her.
I gotta be honest, Tim. It's kind of hard to believe you just don't jump or bounce.
John, I'm right with you, dude. I was like, Tim bagged Luisa.
Dude, we were all shocked that she was genuinely into him. Also, John, you just proposed to your insanely jealous girlfriend. Maybe don't talk about how you can't believe he's not absolutely destroying her insides with Megan probably standing just 5 feet away from you backstage.
It's just so funny that every time I'm sitting on this stage, that's all we focus on. Why didn't you try to have sex with this girl?
Are you serious? The last 3 episodes of this tell-all was you constantly talking about how you think it's so weird that Tyree will not bang every woman that he sees. It was your literal personality and your only criticism.
I have invited him so many times. He said he's sick, his back, his mouth, his jaw, so he cannot make it with me.
I'm sorry, those are some very suspicious parts of your body to be hurting together. His back, his mouth, and his jaw? Luisa tells us that one night he went to a concert with his friends that was happening right next to her place, and so she asked him to stop by, give her a visit, and say hi.
No, I can't. Friday is for boys.
Can imagine, Tyree, some women wanting to chump your bones, and you're just over here like, I'm too busy, I gotta play with the boys.
Tim does not disagree with anything Luisa says, but he does say he genuinely liked her, and Veronica can attest to this because he talked about liking her so much.
And he's not into me, and he's not into any woman.
What do you mean by that?
I really think that you are gay.
Oh.
Tim says that he does not care what people say about him because the people who love him know who he is and that he is not gay. Debbie chimes in and says that maybe Tim just has low testosterone leading to a low libido, which Veronica agrees with since he also has very low energy. Tim says, who knows, maybe it's true, he's never really thought about it, but who cares? Regardless of whether Tim is gay or not, or low testosterone or not, or ace or not, or whatever, he is indeed a 100% certifiable douchebag. Sean brings up that Luisa and Jamal were together last night.
Not really. Everyone was at the bar. I don't want to make that a thing. Like,
yeah. Miss Debbie says she wouldn't be surprised since Luisa is super hot and Jamal is super fine.
Yeah, he's handsome.
You think I'm handsome?
Yes, you're hot.
Ooh.
Luisa and Jamal head out, but before they leave, she tells Tim that he doesn't want a healthy relationship because he had the opportunity for one with her, but he clearly didn't want that because he doesn't care about her or appreciate her. The cast take yet another break, and Tim, Veronica, Jamal, and Luisa have an awkward run-in backstage where Luisa pretty much tells Tim that he can go f off and die because she wants nothing to do with him anymore. Jamal apologizes to Veronica for coming at her too strong and hopes that they are in a good spot.
Are you in a good place?
I mean, call me later and we'll find out how good of a place we're in.
All right. Okay. I'll see you later.
Veronica heads back to sit with the rest of the cast and tell them that if they all go out tonight for drinks, Jamal will definitely be going out with them because they pretty much just made up a moment ago.
Are you sure you want to go out tonight with Jamal?
Is it a good idea? No. Am I going to anyways? Probably.
Veronica heads to the bathroom and Chantel spills some tea.
I saw Luisa and Jamal at the restaurant at the hotel. I just wonder if there might be something there.
Jamal and Luisa are in his dressing room continuing to commiserate over their failed relationships.
You know, I feel bad for Dean.
Okay, honestly, we dated them. Now we could date.
From the snippets of their conversation, we can kind of gather that they did hang out last night. They probably got drunk because Luisa says that she can't really remember a lot of what happened. And then we hear this.
I just like remember the little things.
What, last night? We did that a couple times.
Couple times?
I remember. It was great.
What was great, guys? You can tell us. Did you kiss? Did you boink? Did you kill it in a team game of cornhole? Like, I need to know.
You went right back to sleep. I left. I had a blast. 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh.
Did you crank call people? I need to know. And that, my Panda Pals, is all for today. I think we have one more part left before we reach the end of our journey here. And it looks like we will be taking things out with Princess Natalie. So TLC, you better bring your A game and not disappoint us. Other than that, if you like what I do, you want to show support for this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment telling me what you thought about this episode. Or else, I might have to sacrifice my fur baby to the algorithm gods. Just kidding. By the way, my fur baby is feeling a whole lot better. I want to thank everyone for your well wishes. She is giving y'all 2 paws up for your support. Not that anyone asked for this information, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. She is 12 years old. She is a Pekingese poodle mix. She is adorable and cute. And her name is Chewbacca. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one. And as always, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye.